Okay, this video just has a bunch of different old, unique looking stamps, so I just put them all together in a group. This one's kind of from France, a 2FR. Very nice stamp. Look at that. Look at the architect of that. Isn't that beautiful? What a nice stamp. A lot of details into that. You know, to make the plate in order to print them out. Very nice. Important stamp. Alright, so let me bring you some more. These two here. Could not really make out where they're from, but if you know, by all means, leave it in a comment. This one's a 40 and this other one is a 70. So it seems like an awful lot of design, and I couldn't make out the top. So, very, very pretty. Orange and a purple type. Very nice stamps. Of course, we have the one we brought you at the very beginning. Okay, and then these two are rather unique too. One's a 3 and the other one, I don't know, maybe, oh, it's a 5. One's a 3 and one's a 5. Both the same. One was in the days where they made the stamps and then you had to cut it. And the other one, the perforation around the sides of all there. So that's made the difference between the 3 and the 5. If you notice, they're both the same picture. But very interesting stamps for sure. You know anything about these two, be sure to leave them in a comment too. Kind of interesting to see what the story behind some of this may be. Alright. So, then we have this one here, Relaxing in the Hammock, Française, 30C. That's just a pretty one. And we have a group of these here, RF1C, RFIC, whichever one you want to call it. It's stamped with Française, but very different. Picture in black. This picture here, 4C. RF is in purple. So you have a black one, you have a purple one, and then back to the black and white for a 5C. So these three are rather interesting. Very nice stamps. Okay, and then we have two of the same here. One is, it's a 1. Of course, stamp Française on it. And the one underneath is a 2. Again, the same, but you know, a little bit different in color. And of course, the numbers. So these two have their own little category. So where there were a couple of each and stuff, I just grouped them all together. But this one's probably a nice, interesting one. Hope you've enjoyed my bringing them to you. Be sure to sub me as we travel around the world viewing old and rare postage stamps. Alright, bye-bye now. Okay, today we're visiting Turkey as we travel around the world looking at old and rare vintage stamps. This one I find very interesting. Look at that. That's something. Almost looks like it says 0. Definitely a nice looking stamp. Very classic design around them. Beautiful stamp. Very nice. Okay, let's show you what else we have from Turkey. Starting with that one. Look at that. It's a 6. Man with his rifle and the horse up there. Isn't that beautiful? You know, you stop and you think, what made them design the stamp this way? It's a lot into, you know, when you just look at them. It's a work of art. What story is behind it that caused this to be created and designed in this way? kind of neat, really, if you stop and think about it all. Okay, now here we have a 1. Look at that. The man with his dog, Turk. And then we have a 10. Again, Turk. Then using the same picture, and we went into Turkey. But yet the same picture, and this one's a 6. Then we have this one, a 10. All the same. Okay, then this one here is a 5. Very different. Okay, and this one here, not sure the value of this one. Very unique looking, isn't it? Okay, then we have the sheep here, 0-50. And this one here, 4.5, with a train coming down the track. And of course the one we brought to you at the very beginning. It's just so beautiful in the design. You know, to get each one of these marks to come out, make a plate, and for it to come out that way all the time, so clear. Beautiful. Okay, and here we have a man statue. This is 20. Okay, then we have this one here, a 1. We have the moon and the stars in this one. And then we have this one here. And this one's a 1. Turk on it. Again, the moon's on there too. Here we have a 10. Look at all the design that surrounds the picture. Awful lot right there. Very pretty. Okay, and then we have a 3. Moon and the star in the 2 upper corners. Giving you an idea of the architect of the land. Beautiful. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. This one, of course, I think is the best out of the group. Just so unique and very beautiful in its design and everything. So be sure to join me as a friend as we travel around the world looking at old and rare postage stamps. If you know something about some of these, go ahead, leave it in a comment. A little bit of education can help all of us. Alright, bye-bye now. Okay, here we are with some Romania stamps and stuff. So here's some of the unique one. The centi. They're very, very different kind of looking stamps. There's a 5-cent one. Here is a 10-cent one. Another 10 cent. Just a difference in the color. See, this one had the preparation marks all the way around. This one here looks like it just needed to be cut in those days. That's another 10-cent one. Okay. And we have a bunch that are purple, but they're all different shades of purple. Here's a 20 cent, and they have the preparation marks on that one. And this 20 cent kind of just needed to be cut around. This one, well, must be the corner of a page or something, because two sides are straight, while the other two sides have the preparation around. This one here is another 20 cent, but just had to be cut around. So, this one side isn't, but the other three are 40 cents. So these stamps are rather, different and unique in their own way. Very different stamps. Okay, and then we have right there the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 6, seem to all be of the same fella, 7.5, the 10, the 16, the 25, and the 50. Alright, so these are two different sets of Romanian stamps. These ones here that are just, I don't know, I just find them so unique to look at. Very different. And then those. Okay, so be sure to join me as a friend as we travel around the world looking at old and rare postage stamps. Alright now, bye-bye. Okay, today we're going to visit Française as we travel around the world viewing old and rare postage stamps. This one I find very interesting. Look at all the design and details into that one. Really, really nice. Love it. Okay, so let me show you what we have in this whole video. Okay. First we have this one right here, which is a 1F in green. Then we have right here in purple, a 1F20. Now look at this one. This one is very different. It's like 1/5 cent. Can you imagine that? It says Française, Republic of Française. Don't know what all that writing is or what it's supposed to represent. Of course, it's Indochina too in there. And chiffre tax. So this one's very, very different. A little bit of everything. If you know anything about the history of this one, by all means, leave it in a comment. If you know maybe the approximate year of this stamp, go ahead and leave that too, because I want to know, and I'm sure anybody else who's watching this video will find this stamp to be very unique and want to know more about it. So, we always appreciate knowledge. Something we gain and no one can ever take away. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Here's a 50 cent. Very nice. Here we have a 1F Okay, then we have this one here, a 1F50, which is very different. Then we have a 1FR. Isn't that different? Very unique looking. And this one here, 1F50 in purple. And we have this one in 4, RF. And we have them in a 4F50. Cool. And let's travel to this one here, 50. Very nice. Then we have a 5C in green, a 10, a 15, a 20.
Well, I don't know.
And we go down to a 25. And then here's a 50, very different color. And this one here has a 15 in the center there. And down. And this one that we brought you at the very beginning. And here 1F50. Alright, so out of this batch, the most interesting one, of course, that we want to know more about is this one right here. So be sure to sub me. Join me as a friend as we travel around the world in old and rare postage stamps. So be sure to comment on this one now if you know about it, okay? Bye-bye now. Alright, today we're going to visit Japan as we travel around the world looking at old and rare postage stamps. So let me take you through what we have today. Alright. This first one, oh, let me turn them around. Let's have them right to begin with. Oops, 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 oops. Now look at that. I messed it all up. There we go. Here we have a 1/2. Kind of just a gray and white type one. 1/2 SN. Then we have a 1 SN. Kind of like a brownish stamp. Then we have a 3 in pink. These look like some pretty old ones here. So we have the 1/2, the 1, and a 3. Okay, then we have a 1 in this design. We have a 1/2. Again, a 3. The 3 seems to always be in pink, huh? There's the 3. And this one here is kind of unique because it was brown and then with all the green on it. So this had to go through a double printing. So this is 30 sen. Okay, and then we have here 1. So if you know the year of this one's rather interesting looking. It's like there's a story there and you want to know what the story is. Because old vintage stamps is not only a work of art, it's also history. So there's a good story there. So this one's a 1. Another 1, 1N. And another 1. Just different pictures on them. Here we have a 50. Here we have a 10. Here we have a 2. And there's the $4. Look at the bird, isn't it pretty? Different design on both of them. Very nice. Okay, and then we have one here, $2. Going to work the fields. We have a 1N, Mountain Peak. If you notice, this one here is one that does not have the perforations on the sides and stuff. So that's probably one that, you know, they had sheets of and you had to cut it with the scissors when you gave them out. So that's why some may have different edges that are not perfectly centered, but they're just there. The stamp is there. So that's a 1. This is another one of those stamps that was just cut around. It's a 5. The fish. And another one we brought at the very beginning, only because this one's so interesting. It's a 3. Just different, unique in its look and design. Okay, then we have the 5, and that one also is one that was just cut around, 5N. Okay, then here we have a $2 one. And then here we have another one. It's a 4. Okay, so if you find some of these very interesting and stuff, be sure to leave a comment. If you know something about it, maybe some of the story behind some of it, go ahead and educate the rest of us. In the meantime, be sure to sub me, join me as a friend as we travel around the world through old and rare postage stamps. Bye-bye now. Okay, today we're going to visit Italian. And this one seems to be rather interesting. I believe it's 1923. We start with a 25-cent, that's part of the postcard and stuff, and then they added a 5-cent stamp to it. So those are rather interesting, but let's take a look at what else we have in this video. Starting with this one here, 1.25, 1858 to 1958. And we have this one here, L110. This is 1859. Very nice picture, look at that. I like that. Here's another 1859 L25 in the fields. We have another L25 for the Olympics on the top there. Then we have 1859 to 1959 L15. Okay, and this one here, look at that. Put that on the stamp. Looks like a stump tree just cut right off and everything growing around. Okay, and of course the one we brought to you at the very beginning, We did 25 and then added another 5 cents to it. Okay, then we have 25 Leary. See, underneath it says 1958. Okay, and a 60 Leary. $19.58. Another 60 Leary. And 1859 to 1959. And we have 1948 to 1958. All 60. And this one's a 1958. Look at that. Look at the design in that stamp. Isn't that something? Beautiful. Look at that. What a design. Very nice. Okay. And here we have another one that looks like Olympics. And we have a 500 Leary. Another one that looks like Olympic markings on it. 1959. And another one here, stamped by the post office, 59. Oh, look at this one. I like this one. All right. Picture from 1859 that's on it. Look at that with the cannon and everything else. Interesting, huh? Okay, 1948 to 1958. L25. There's a 25. 1918 to 1958. That was the 1968. That was the 50th anniversary. Okay, now this one, we have one in purple. This is 1859. Picture from back then. So we have it here, kind of in a purple. Oh, that's the only one of that one. It's these two. We have different, same thing. Okay, so this one's also in purple. And then you have it in brown. One's L25, the other one's L60. So these two are different. I still like this one. This one's rather interesting. Alright. Very interesting one. Alright, so if you like some of these, know any information about them, go ahead and leave them in a comment so the rest of us can all learn from it. And be sure to sub me, join me as a friend as we travel around the world through old and rare postage stamps. Just so nice to see what other countries had for stamps. You know, whether you're looking just to be looking, whether you can see history in some of these, because this is really a work of art with a lot of history behind it, or whether you're a collector. It's always nice to look at things from the past. Alright, bye-bye now. Okay, today we're going to show you some Sporegion stamps. Got two groups, pretty much numbered the same, looking like this one here. So just different design. Some are going this way and some are going up and down, so, but they all seem to have the same center picture. So let me show you some of these for those of you who just looking for the numbers and stuff and are collecting this particular one. Okay, we have this one, a 20F. And the one we show you in the beginning, 50F. Then we have a 100. This is 1941 on this one. I didn't look to see what the other ones might have had. I don't know what. That definitely can't be 1740 something. I don't know. Okay, but this one is a 1941. Then a 200. In brown. 3. It's supposed to be like $3, but it's a comma, not a period. There's a 3. Then we go down here to a 4. So now we have 4. Here we have a 500. A 600. A 700. Or 7-00. I think it's supposed to mean like dollars if we put it in American form. Okay. Then we have an 800. And we have the 900 right there. Okay, so you got a 20F, 50F, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, and 900. So this is part of a collection. So if you're missing some of these, let me know. Okay, then we go into them being upright. So we have a 20. And we have a 30. And we have a 40. We have a 50. And it skips over here to a 70. I don't have 60. That's a 70. Then it's 09, comma 0. So I'm going to call that an, well, it's not really a 90. And then a 10. Oh, the 10 should have gone first. Okay. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. They're very different. So if you're collecting these, let me know about it. If you know more about them, by all means, leave it in a comment. Educate the rest of us. Alright, bye-bye now.